man. For my son being born, I would have been down there with Jay.
You know,
I'd have been down there living it up.
And right, exactly. And it ain't no disrespect to the town, but I can really tell this for Kansas City people, there is strategic plans in place that have slowed the process of Black success for sure. And being in Houston, it has been verified. Like there's no, hey, I want to do this. Oh, you got to get this license, that license, this license. You just get it. You know, if you got your money, you got everything in order. There's no politics like that down here. Where in Kansas City, it's like they take you got to get the state, and you got to get the city, and you got to get all these approvals, and so I think that kind of discourages a lot of Black-owned people to jump out there.
And here we go. You're listening to the Kings Can Move On podcast with your hosts, Jason Stewart and Frank Rainey.
What's happening, world? Welcome everybody to the Kings Can Move On podcast. Another wonderful episode. You got Big Frank the Tank, aka Big Reno, in the house. What's happening?
AKA Casey's finest, AKA the Big.
Hey man, I only used 2 this time, player.
AKA, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Jay, AKA Wood. Welcome to the podcast, and tonight we got a special guest.
Yes, sir.
My fam, my cousin, Mr. Edward Stewart. What's up, Eddie?
Okay. What's going on?
What's good, man?
Man, what's happening? You can't put a limit on the AKAs. I got too many AKAs.
No, go ahead and throw them on out there, man. Tell them how they know.
Coed, AKA Coed Inc, AKA Big Bread Ed, AKA Melly, Melrose, Chinchilla Jr. Man, don't trust nobody with that many names, I promise. What's going on, fellas? Casey,
welcome, bro. Welcome to the show.
Can move on. Kings can move on, absolutely.
It's about time you got on this podcast.
Yeah, man, we've been wanting you from day one, player.
I had to hold out a little bit, make it highly anticipated, you know? I'm more raptable from the town, you feel me?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
But now I want to say, before we get anything, I want to amend you guys and proud of you for doing a legit podcast, everything professional, ready to go, and it's only going to get bigger, so I want to give y'all flowers in the beginning, because I already see where it's going to go. This is real games from real fellas that really been through it and really got some knowledge, definitely for the older and the younger guys and women too. So
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. We trying to do something, man. We trying to do something for real. You know, we're on a mission right now.
You're gonna have to promote our year anniversary, man. So you know, when that year come around, we're gonna be coming back to you like, hey man, we got to throw a big gig. So
absolutely.
It's gonna be you.
Absolutely. We do part 2. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know what? Speaking of all these AKAs you got and we got, you know, I brought you in as Mr. Edward Stewart, but of course, I know you as Melrose Cootie.
Right.
Melly Mel, you know, the Cuzzo, but you changed your name officially a few years ago.
Right.
So, what was the rationale and the reason for that change you made?
That's a good question. It was a couple of things that kind of factored in. So, at the time that I did it, because it was actually a while ago, when I actually did it, it was like that name was already established. Like, so why would you? People didn't even really understand. But it was more of, you know, I want to have my father's name. You know, how it was supposed to be. So when I realized that you could do something about it, you know your father, you have a relationship with your father, and my grandfather, for real, who had that's what really had a lot to do with it. You know, Pops, you know, him being Edward Stewart, my dad being Edward Stewart. So it's almost like I'm a third in the sort of sense, but really like a fourth, because then it'd be Melrose Edward, you know, so I just was, I didn't want to miss. It's legacy. It's
Yeah.
legacy. So, it was no disrespect to the other half because I'm always that. It's tatted on me, and that's still what I go by. But officially, I guess now everybody gonna know. Yeah, I changed my last name to Stewart. So there it is.
Went the government route. You went the
The
government route
government
and
route.
changed
The government
everything up.
route. So
Yeah.
and everybody, and the funniest thing, everybody always, well, what's your name, Coed? Well, what's your real name? So that was the initiation there. Like, no, that is my real name. It's my last name. So everybody already thought it was a nickname anyway.
Right.
That's what it is. Now that it actually is a nickname.
Okay. All right. That's what's. I was wondering. Like I said, the fam. You always Melrose to the family. It's like, I call anybody like, "What's Melrose doing? Where Mel at?"
Ooh, they put it all out there, ain't they? Today, yeah, all them now. Them was real names.
They are real names.
See,
But
the
we
crazy
go
thing
out.
is,
We
the
go out. It's
crazy
like
thing is
I'm
when
Eddie.
you have multiple names, like this name gonna hear weird. Like it'll be weird if somebody from the family called me Evan.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But it'll be even more weird if somebody on the job was like Cootie. You'd be like, oh, who? I don't know who that is, sir.
That's how it is. If somebody call me Reno at the job, man, I need to change jobs because something ain't right.
Yeah. But you know what? And that's crazy. So that's a good segue into being Black and being in corporate America. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I had a guy ask me the other day, man, what do you do? What do you do? Man, I'm like, I work, but I don't, when you don't work at a place that's quote unquote maybe popular or a lot of people work there, if you don't broadcast it, people just see you out living like, damn, what do he do? He always doing this, he doing this. But now I've been in corporate America over 20 years, or probably right at 18 years. So and that's a challenge in itself. So it's definitely I had to grow into, especially coming fresh from where I'm from and then coming out of college. And corporate America is different. The rules are different.
Yeah.
You gotta walk different. You gotta talk different, right? So,
but at the same time, you don't want your boy Cootie saying, "Damn, why you talking like that? You a sellout." Nigga, you don't talk like that.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on, you know where you from.
Not only that, it was a real process. Like definitely, like starting with coming out of college, the enterprise rental car job, where they teach you a whole lot, but at the same time, they don't pay you shit. Yeah. So, but they dress you up, they teach you the etiquette, they teach you the professionalism. To be honest, it's really like working at enterprise is almost like a master class, but on the job. So once you get that game, you're like, oh, we are definitely ain't getting paid. So then you go to either to the pharmaceutical sales or the insurance route, which I did. And then that's when you experience the real politics. Like, hold on now, y'all just promoted who over what? Because I could have swore okay.
Man, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Yeah.
But so going through that and then coming to this company that I'm with now, this manufacturing company, I've been with them 9 years. I think this is my year 10. You learn what you're worth, learn to go where the pay and the benefits are better, and then you try to go somewhere where there's some type of potential of growth. And I think in corporate America for brothers, especially coming out the Midwest, like I said, in the Midwest, I've been in corporate America, 19 years? 3 major companies, maybe 1, 2 brother supervisors. You're talking about out of thousands of supervisors, or at least hundreds, 1 brother. And for some reason, they the first in, first out. So it just makes you kind of wonder. So you're going to have some resentment sitting up in there. Then as you get a little bit older, they start bringing the young ones in from the KUs, the MUs, and they putting them right there with you. Then you got to train them, and then you look up 6 months, they didn't got promoted. But I learned, what I did learn is politics, and it's a strategy to corporate America.
So let me ask you this, cuz so being in corporate America, you lived in the Midwest for the majority of your time. Now you're in Houston, down south. Some folks, get it twisted and think, the South is so racist versus
Mm.
the Midwest. So being from, you've had both experiences from the angle of corporate America. What would you say that you see a difference between here and there, or is it about the same as far as corporate America goes?
I would say that's a two-sided question, right? So when I moved to Texas, I came to Texas as a boss. So now I'm only interacting with other like owners, distributors,
Mm,
which are so far have been Caucasian.
yeah.
So it's still kind of the same, but it's just I'm in position. But the overall, oh, it's like night and day. Like Houston itself is a very very diverse city. Where
Yeah.
you know it ain't no real number majority. It's all urban. Like especially out where I stay.
Yeah.
I stay in a gated community type, and all my neighbors are black. So
Mm.
it's definitely different, and it's a different culture. And I think the big misconception about the South, not only the Southwest but the South period, is that unlike the Midwest, we don't leave. They didn't leave their future in the hands of the master. They went out and built their own.
Mm-hmm.
So in the South, that's where you're going to see the most black entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
Like prime example, in KC, they'll have restaurant week and it'll be major. It might be 200 companies on there from the plaza to wherever. They did restaurant week down here. It was 100 black owned restaurants.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So that's the difference. It's more of a independent type. Like, yeah, we down here, we might work a 9 to 5, but everybody's doing something extra. Everybody's got a hustle on the side. So it's just a whole different mentality. Like they boss up in the South, but not only here. I mean, you got even Birmingham, Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
DC. I mean, that's not necessarily the South, but you got all these little pockets. Dallas, like
Yeah.
people doing their thing. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'm gonna just be honest. If you grew up somewhere in the United States, I would definitely encourage you to at least, whether you go to college or you get a chance, definitely move down south for if you can,
Mm-hmm.
At
Mm-hmm.
least
especially to one of
experience.
these major cities.
Did you move down there because of work?
So I have been trying to get out of Kansas City since I was 19.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
nigga, yo, God, go ahead.
So,
Preach, talk that talk.
I go down to Lincoln University, HBCU love. Sigma's in the
Oh,
building,
you?
Beta Chi, beat them, break them, Beta Chi. So I get down there and it's already a culture shock. Like,
Mm-hmm.
damn. And you meeting people here, Texas. I play football, so Miami, everywhere. And then you start traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Football games. I play football. So now I'm in Atlanta. I'm playing against Clark Atlanta. I'm playing against Tuskegee. We
Mm-hmm.
played against Southern. So I'm seeing these places like, damn. And then all
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, my mom had moved, relocated down south. So even
Okay.
when I'm going home for breaks, I'm going to Birmingham, I'm going to Atlanta. So I'm like, oh, it's a no-brainer. Then you graduate, and it's just like, man, okay. It was one of them situations where I had a bird in the hand, go back to Kansas City and work. It's already laid out for me, or do I, go somewhere else? So at the time, I just came back to KC, but I never had planned to come back to KC.
Yeah, yeah, man. For my son being born, I wouldn't have, I would have been down there with Jay.
You
We
know,
would
and,
have been
and,
down, I would have been down there living it up.
and no, yeah, right, exactly. And it ain't no disrespect to the town, but I can really tell this for Kansas City people, there is strategic plans in place that have slowed the process of Black success for sure. And being in Houston, it has been verified. Like there's no, hey, I want to do this. Oh, you got to get this license, that license, this license. You just get it. If you got your money, you got everything in order. There's no politics like that down here. Where in Kansas City, it's like they take you. Got to get the state, then you got to get the city, then you got to get all these approvals, and
Mm-hmm.
so I think that kind of discourages a lot of Black-owned people to jump out there.
Yeah.
No, real talk. People know, but some don't know that Kansas City and Missouri in general, it's a very segregated town,
It
and
really is.
it really is. And they may not be racist in your face, but racism exists in, like you say, in power modules. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
want to do this, no, you can't. I want to go
exactly.
here, no, you can't.
Right.
And you
Mm-hmm.
limited in what you can do and where you can move. And it's like, I've done it so long back in Kansas City, I just got tired of it. You get down here, and it's so big and spread out. I can be anywhere at any part of town. I may experience some racist stuff, but I still may experience a lot of black and other cultures. Because
Absolutely.
we're all over the place down here. We're spread out all over. You
Mm-hmm.
can't say, "Oh, this is my side of town." No,
Right.
no,
Right.
we
Right.
there
You don't
too.
get you don't get the double take.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, what you doing over here?" You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you said something about the hustle and having a hustle, and I know you've always had a hustle. You know, I know you have had your business, Coed Inc., for a long time, doing your promotions, throwing
Right.
parties back in the town. So let me ask you, what got you into that?
That's funny. So
Yeah.
how we talking about the disadvantages. So crazy story. I'm fresh home from college. Me and my brother, we go out on the plaza.
If you're enjoying this podcast, don't forget to subscribe and like us on YouTube and rate and follow us on your favorite podcast platform.
And I don't remember the name of the little bar, the club, but we dressed up. My brother Alpha, so you know how he dressed,
Yeah.
and we can't get in.
Mm.
And I'm like, hold on though. What you mean we can't get in? Because we got on. So
What year was this? What about what year was
so
this?
this is probably like 2000 and this is probably like 2005, 2006,
That's crazy.
right? So I think it might have been Blind or Meek the Scene or something on the plaza. It's not even there anymore, but so it was crazy coming from all black experience into being like ain't having no problems. But now all of a sudden it was just some clear discrimination. And I
Mm-hmm.
would at the time I wasn't even a going out type guy. So I'm
Yeah.
like, this is crazy, whatever. So just so happened that same summer, one of my frat brothers from LU had an opportunity to invest in a club. And mind you, I'm not a club guy at all. So I'm like, nah, I'm not interested. That ain't really me. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, damn, I just couldn't get in one club. I got the opportunity. So long story short, they convinced me. I invest in this club, Club 4400. This is like '07. So this is
Mm-hmm.
'07, Club 4400. It was right there on 39th and Main,
Okay.
right there on 39th and Main, on Cattle Corner to where Orr is.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can't remember what it was. Not the Grand. Is that the name of something? Grand Emporium. That's
Yeah.
what it was called back in the day. Anyway, so investing in that and just start learning the business, Obviously, we young, we like 27 years old with a whole club, not even knowing. We just, still with that party mentality. So obviously that lasted what, 6 months tops. But in the
Mm-hmm.
process, I threw a concert. I had a couple local guys come perform. I put it all together myself and got all the door, all the bar, and I had made basically my initial investment back in that one night.
Mm.
Wow.
So that just sparked. Then plus with my uncle being already been in the entertainment business, had access to different talent and models and different things. So it
He
was
was
kind of
he was running the strip clubs.
oh,
Oh,
I know.
let's get
This
on stage.
oh man, okay, well yeah, he said it. My
He
uncle,
had the women.
yeah. So it kind of really fell in my lap, and then I just went from there. Working the corporate job, it kind of cushioned the being in Kansas City. Like I'm here, I really don't want to be here, but I'm making money here too outside of my corporate job, and it gave me a sense of freedom. Like anytime you own your own deal and you making money just from something that you created, there's no freedom bigger than that. And
Right.
I never, even to this day, I always been 50-50, half here, half there. But to be 100% independent on your own hustle, I feel like that's just as important as financial freedom to me.
Did y'all run the club all three of y'all made the decisions together, or how did y'all normally do that?
Yeah, we were all young. One of the partners, he lived in St. Louis, so he would come up. But if anybody know, shout out to my boy JC the Great. If anybody know him, then it was a frat house in there. So
right.
It was just kind of one of those deals, but it opened my eyes to something bigger because I honestly didn't. I don't really want to have to be nowhere every day already.
Yeah.
So I figured I'll do these promotions. See, the game plan with the promotions was do the parties. Parties going to bigger parties, right? Then these parties go into concerts. These concerts grow into now you're renting out the Uptown. You take the Uptown, you go to and then you end up in the Sprint Center where you make 2-3 million, and that's it. You do that till you're 65 years old because you're behind the scenes.
Right.
And there was some restrictions on that with Kansas City. You can't get a venue in Kansas City. If you're
Really?
Black in Kansas City, you try to do some entertainment, you're really limited to 18th and Vine. I mean, shout out to the Shelbys. They had basically 75% of the nightlife with they 3 venues. And as they got older and they start to close. So now you literally only have, if you want to go and hear some good music and be around your people, you can only go to 18th and Vine.
18th and Vine.
It's funny because our tax dollars say we've been paying for Power and Life. But you see what I'm saying? And so it was funny. I was one of the only Black promoters to fall up in Power and Life. They've been in operation probably like 12 years. There's not no urban promoters down there.
I don't doubt that. I remember when me and Jay went down there one year. It's about 5-10 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
And we got turned out. Then we turned around.
Yeah.
So
because we wouldn't.
To circle back, yeah.
They
So
found
to
a
circle
reason
back
to
to the
say you
answer
can't get
is-
in. Like, hey, your shirt. They said my shirt was tucked out or some shit like that. And I was like, I had like a polo,
Yeah.
jeans. And they're like, nah, because you got this. Oh, no. And then you do that, they come back, oh, no, because of this. I'm like, bro, just say
Yeah.
it.
You
Just
see what I'm
say it.
saying? So
Yeah.
basically, out of just like everything else when it comes to Black people, we're resilient. So once you tell us no, we're going to create our own and create it better, i.e. Kansas City, the home of the Negro League Baseball Museum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know that when we merged, that killed a lot of Black businesses. And they had the best athletes that you can imagine. When nobody trying to go see them stiffs over there, they come to see Satchel Paige.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Jackie Robinson.
So it's kind of that same deal. Like our struggle has always still been the same. And where there's no opportunity, we create our own, and that's how I fell in the promo business. And it's lucrative. I still, I'm in it, not as involved in it as I was, because that took me from just doing parties. Then I was one of the first people to get the actual liquor sponsor. That's still the game that they still kind of slow on with now. I done got Jack Daniels to sponsor the event. I done got 5,000 from the sponsorship before the doors even opened. So started doing that. That introduced me to open the doors in St. Louis. So I actually grew out of Kansas City. I had successful events in Omaha, Nebraska, Denver, St. Louis. So, it's an industry, and obviously you meet all the celebrities and all of that. That's the plus side. But being behind the scenes, man, it's good money.
Yeah.
It's good money in it.
And you did that and balanced that with your corporate gig for this whole while. Was there ever a desire in you to say, you know what, I'm gonna leave corporate America, just do this full time, just be in promotions and party?
I mean, like I said, obviously that's always the goal, to be independent and own your own business. But at the same time, I kind of like being a hybrid. You see what I'm saying? This is a new time. I'm a new generation type guy. I might do this over here, but I do this over here. So doing the events and stuff is cool, but it's basically at night. So why not have a 9 to 5? You're getting a check every Friday, having health benefits. And to be honest, corporate America is where you learn business. So if you just graduate school and then you just do a job or you do your own thing, like corporate America is always continuous learning. That's how you know about the gadgets, the marketing, the forecasting, the strategies. Like, people don't even know what forecasting is. They forecasting for the end of the month. Every job I've been is forecast out these 5 to 10 years. So that's you got. So I think it was always just to learn as much as the business from corporate America as I could. So it was a perfect balance for me.
Yeah, I just had an episode I did, and we were talking about entrepreneurism versus working in corporate America, working period. And there's benefits, there's pros and cons to both, right? And I've always used my job to acquire training, to learn, to better my skills in something, and just kind of progress myself. So I never looked at it like, oh man, I got a job. Oh man, I'm stuck in this grind. No, there's benefits to being in a job as long as you can pull stuff from it.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna train you. If you're gonna get to maybe travel, if you're gonna get to learn and see how folks really work at higher levels, you can take that if you have a side hustle, maneuver it to that way and use it for your side hustle. You can use that knowledge you get from your job for your side hustle. You know.
It's a mindset thing. You see what I'm saying? You came in it with the right mindset as, hey, whatever I do, whatever job I get, I'm using that as a springboard
Yeah.
to do something different.
Mm.
Other people don't look, they look at it different. Well, why I gotta cut my hair, or why I gotta do this? Like, it's almost like you gotta have some discipline in corporate America that sometimes people don't understand. But what they do understand is when they see you winning and you winning, and then you've been winning for a long time, and now they trying to figure out, well, damn, I know he ain't a street guy. Well, what do, because he's steady winning. It's discipline. And to be honest, the best advice I can give anybody just being in corporate America is do your best. That was the key. That's when I started getting promoted, when I started doing my best. Like, not worrying about who they promoting and doing all that, doing my own thing, volunteering for the little extra stuff if I was interested in it, and doing my best. And then that came opportunities. And I got an opportunity to take a traveling job, even when I was in Kansas City,
Okay.
over the people that were so-called above me couldn't do it. So once I did that, it got my name out there. And that's all business is in general. It's relationships. I don't care what they say, how many degrees you got, your master's, it's all about who do you know?
Yeah.
Who do
Right.
you know, who referred you?
Hmm.
And it's just that simple. And it's
God
just
taught me that. You remember, I can't remember that old Creole restaurant that was up there on 18th and Vine, right there on the corner. It's called something else now, but he was part owner in that. Um, and he was like the head maintenance man at Blue Cross Blue Shield years ago when I worked out there. He's like, man, and gold in his mouth, but he up there playing golf with the VPs and CEOs. He's like, man,
yeah.
it's all about building that relationship. They call me all the time. I don't even call them. They call me to play golf.
Hey
Yeah.
man, listen, stop the video right now. Zoom in on me. I'm telling you, fellas, right now, I was a football track athlete. Learn how to play golf as early as you can. Because what all the sayings that they be saying is true.
Right,
He was like, I ain't not. Listen, learn how to play golf. Now I'm playing catch up. And I'm sponsoring golf tournaments now. And that's
Dude.
another thing. So basically, the job that I'm doing now in outside sales is so identical to promotions. You won't
Hmm.
even believe. Paying for the marketing materials, getting flyers done, taking sample products, giving the pull-out banners. That's all the same stuff I did with Nuvo and Jack Daniels and Ciroc. So I'm already knowing like point of sales. So it all ties in, man. But definitely, young fellas learn how to golf.
for real.
Trust me. Look, networking is done on the golf course. Deals are made on the golf course. You can make some real strides on the golf course. Trust me. You have
Absolutely.
about 4 to 5 hours with some people, and y'all can just chop it up, really.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't talk about business deals when you're playing a 3-on-3 basketball game, pickup
Right.
game. You're gonna be
Nah,
tired as hell.
yeah.
What your crypto look like?
Yeah,
Man, I'm
exactly.
trying to shoot this three on you.
Dude,
Exactly.
I'm telling you, every time I go on to play golf, whether it's with people I know or strangers, it always goes around. We playing. Like, so Jason, what do you do? It
Mhm.
always happens. What do you do? Well, and it's like back and forth. What do you do? Oh, okay, that's cool. Oh, let's exchange numbers. it's bound to happen, and
No,
you're
for
gonna
real.
find yourself in circles. You're like, damn, how'd I get up in here? Oh, that's
Yeah,
right, because old buddy
right.
had to connect here and there.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
And
so
I think coming from our environment where, I had to realize that damn, I'm really from the city. Even though I had moved out to Hickman, it's like my mentality was still city. Even till now, like this is my first time technically living in the suburbs. So I just think it's part of our networking ain't really to us. It was like, we ain't doing all that Jeffing. We don't know them. They don't know us. We from the other side. So
yeah,
it's a whole culture thing that has to switch too. And that's something that I struggle with now too. Like I'm not as friendly. They make it's a little bit easier now. You got the, business cards and it's kind of your job. But before that, I don't be networking like that. You know what I'm saying? Unless I already know what you got going on. But besides that, but now like you said, you golf and y'all crossing paths and like, well, what you do? Well, yeah, fellas, learn how to golf as early as
For real.
possible. For real, for real.
man, you talking about you not friendly. I can remember you moved down here from Kansas City, different vibe, different scene. You were kind of walking around, kind of like looking at folks, just kind of scoping shit out. And we like, dude, it's cool, man. Chill out, man. Ain't
Hey
nobody
man.
tripping. We just, hey, we out here trying to kick it, have a good time. It's all love. You like, man, y'all don't know that dude, man. Who we looking at? Hey,
And
cause in
see,
KC, you like, hey, man, guard your grill. What's up?
guard your grill. This
What's
Kansas City.
yeah?
So,
What?
and like
Who?
I said, a lot of people don't know the mentality. So that's why I always say travel as much as possible while you can at a young age. And see, that's how I knew I wanted to leave Kansas City because I had already seen. College had already showed me so much. But
Mm,
then, like I said, when I came down here first time for your deal, and I'm like, oh wow, it was something amazing to me. Then I said, oh, that's a black woman with a BlackBerry, and she fine too. When this is when only doctors had them. Like people important. Like, what you doing with a BlackBerry? What you doing with a doctor? You a CNA? So you know, uh, yeah, man, it's nothing like the South, man. The South has a nostalgia to it. Like even Atlanta, even though it's kind of alternative now and kind of saturated with a lot of out of towners doing crazy stuff, like you feel different. Like I went to Birmingham. Can you imagine? Just like when we went to the rodeo,
mm,
70,000, all black.
Hmm.
90,000. They're going to some of these historical black classics,
mm,
football games. And it's
mm.
Arrowhead, but it's all black and it's peaceful. I said, oh, I got it. Just you feel like you home. It's like a
Beautiful
magnet
thing.
that pulls you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful
No,
thing.
it
Yeah,
is.
for
It,
sure.
it really
And
is.
especially to know that you don't, it doesn't have to be that when you get that many people involved and there are black, you don't have to see all the bullshit. You ain't got to see the violence. You ain't got to see the fight. It's all love. Everybody just there like it's a Monday, like they supposed to be.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Because we all want to have a good time, basically. We're all trying to look. We're all trying to eat, make money, have a good time, go home. That's
exactly.
it. It ain't no beef. I mean, like any city, we got violence, we got crime, but it's a lot more.
The
Uh,
positive outweighs the negative,
Yeah,
yes,
for
it does.
sure.
that's what's
For
up.
Yes.
sure. And like I said, it's a sense of home. I mean, Houston to me is the best urban city in the US. People could say Atlanta, they could say DC, but I think Houston overall is super urban, excuse me, and it's still real. You know what I'm saying? It's still real people, they still down to earth.
Yeah.
Texas, they kind of do their own thing and they very prideful people. Um,
Very.
and I can dig that.
Yeah.
I can dig that.
They
Hmm.
love Texas, bro. They are very proud of their state. Trust me. They will tell you. And we from Texas. Like, I know you are. Shit, I see
Right,
that.
right.
But
For sure.
so what I wanted to kind of get to one of one of your nicknames you said was Chinchilla Junior, which
Chinchilla.
of course your daddy, my
Right.
uncle, you know, God rest his soul, was Chinchilla.
Mm-hmm.
He was Ed Stewart Jr. You
Yeah.
know, So tell me about You and your dad, what was the relationship like between you and my uncle?
So early on, my dad and my mom, they had separated. So through my younger years, they went together. And then my mom got married.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a step pops. And so my dad wasn't really in the picture. You know what I'm saying? He was going through whatever he was going through, in and out or whatnot. And he was there,
Yeah.
but he wasn't like, I probably don't even remember meeting him for real in my younger age, right?
Okay.
I remember Pops though. Pops came over, trunk full of toys. I'm like, who this man dropping off all that? You know, and I'm the youngest out of all them, so all the shit he dropped off, they instantly took from me instantly. So, but I remembered that, pulled up in a nice car, and then my stepfather was a street guy, so then he ended up having a situation to have to go on a long vacation. So I think around that time, my dad, which is a crucial age for black men, that 12 to 13, that's a crucial age for black men to have guidance in their life. And he came in the perfect time.
If you're enjoying this podcast, don't forget to subscribe and like us on YouTube and rate and follow us on your favorite podcast platform.
So when he came in, I think I was maybe in junior high, and then started introducing me to you, my that side of the family.
Yeah.
You know, so and it was like an instant bond. Like it was like it's crazy because they treat me like I've been there the whole time, but I hadn't.
Right.
You know, I really probably only been around maybe about 20 years. You know, so
Yeah.
but it was organic. And we was together every day, like literally. So when my dad came back in my life, we was literally together every day. Like during the summer, we have to go cut grass, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, this dude was just a mythical character. Like it's hard to explain. It was like my dad was like a rapper, but he wasn't a rapper. If that makes sense, just the way he talked, his cadence, just everything about him. He always wore slacks. He's gonna be the cleanest in the room no matter where he go. We going to cut grass, well, he got on cutting grass slacks. So, you know, my hero instantly, like, it really don't, like, not having a father is so common with everybody. You just like, and my mom so strong, it was just like, whatever. Like, I ain't missing nothing. Fuck him. You know, and then my other pops, he up the road. So it's just like, well, I ain't tripping. But when you actually see where you come from and you learn things. And that's the thing. Sometimes they teach you things without knowing they teach you.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of having a father in the household. That's probably one of the most important things. I just had a conversation with my uncle on my mama's side, who was cool with my daddy, and he was telling you, yeah, you just like your daddy. And hearing that is just like, hold on, but I wasn't even around him enough to, but that just lets you know it's in you. I be trying to tell you, I was born this way. So I think that's important. So everybody like try to say, oh, growing up in a household without a father, everybody use that excuse, or they all make it bad. But when it really hit me, like, damn, you do miss out on a lot of knowledge, whether it be good or bad. You just miss out on a lot of info that you have to learn on your own.
When did
And
you
honestly,
leave?
the crazy thing, I was in college. So it was 2001, 2002. I remember I was about a sophomore going into my junior year. And, you know, got that call, got that news. And that was crazy because I had talked to him all that day. So, you know, to lose a parent to gun violence is just like, you know, I think you just be in a state of shock. Like, how that's not supposed to go that way. Like, how does that happen, especially at that late of an age? So I think he was probably right at 49, 50 when that had happened. And it's crazy because I'm pushing on that, you know, I'm getting closer to that age. So
Yeah.
it's just one of them things, man. Like, you know, coming from Kansas City, it's just like I ain't gonna say we used to it, but you know, that wasn't the only death in the family. You know what I'm saying? That was the one that hurt me the most. But it was like I couldn't do nothing but just keep moving.
Yeah.
Keep moving. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, everything is on God's already written out because I was already plugged in, which was the number one thing he wanted. He made sure. Because the crazy thing is like, my dad ain't been around, but he's such a family oriented dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He all about family. So it was kind of weird you know how I played out, but then when I play it back in my mind, like, oh, with my step pops being a gangster too, a real a member. So I could see what his static was. So he probably kept this distance, but like I said, we was together every day, and his number one goal was to make sure I meet all of my family. Make sure I meet Jason, because Jason wasn't living here at the time. Make sure I meet my Uncle Russ. Make sure I meet all my aunties. Make sure I build a bond with my grandfather, which I did. So, I mean, I'm forever grateful, man. We only here for a short time, so
Yeah.
we just try to embrace the time that we have with people and cherish the moments. Like I don't take nothing for granted, and it also make me not sweat no little things. Like I really don't get upset because the worst didn't already happen to me. So other stuff I did just roll off. So it kind of keeps me positive in a way because I done been through the worst. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Even
yeah,
my step pops, that he was in my life. He was gone for 20 years. That felt like forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For you to be 10 and he come home and you in your 30s.
right.
So me, like I said, my mom's so strong. We never went out we never wanted for anything. I grew up in a house that's twice the size of the house that I'm in now. So,
Yeah.
just having that support system. And it's crazy. The other day I was just driving and I had no kids. I was just thinking, damn, it really do take a village though. It take a village, man. And I will say that I had somewhat of a village to soften the blow from losing a parent and
Yeah, and
losing
you actually lost two.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You lost, like, your stepfather came back in your life, but essentially he was gone during that important time.
exactly.
Yeah, so I get it, bro.
Yeah. And you know what? We like you said, we don't know when our time's gonna be called. We don't know how long we're here for. So it was like so crucial and so important that he did come back into your life. You had that time to build that bond, to get into the family,
Right.
because, you know, then, years later he's gone, you
Exactly.
know, but you had that connection and that time. So it's just, we got to take advantage of every moment we have, you
Yeah.
know, because you don't know. But
Right.
it's great that y'all did get that chance to actually connect, build, spend time. We connected, our family grew, and look, here we are now.
Here we
So
are now. So, like I said, everything happens for a reason, as cliche as that sound. And
yeah,
we ain't. I think you once you realize that you're not in control, because that was another thing. Being young, you think you're a superhero. You think you're in control of your destiny.
yeah,
And shit, when he was dealing with these women, like you think you're in control, like you're not in control of nothing. And I think once you accept that, be better off
Yeah,
for sure. You like, we can't accept it. We every day, we pray for the best, but we prepare too. So
and
especially coming from a rough city, man, and
yeah,
it's just a blessing. Like I feel like I made it out the jungle, But I
yeah,
was fighting, and listen. I was even prepared to be Lion King in there, which that's what I was doing. But the whole time, man, I'm trying to get out of there. And only thing, I'm just blessed and extremely grateful. And like I said, at the end of the day, not getting into it, but it was some people in Houston that I feel like could have put me in position, maybe that didn't. But at the end of the day, a white guy still put me on.
yeah,
So everybody thinking corporate America is this or that, or if sometimes you never know, man. Like I said, when you're just doing your best, man, blessings gonna come your way, and you don't know what shape or form or fashion it's gonna be in.
yeah.
right.
You gotta keep grinding, and like you said, do your
Keep
part,
grinding.
put the work in. It may be a little harder to shine, but you gotta just keep on working at it, and eventually you're gonna break through, and something's gonna happen. Somebody gonna see you and see what you're doing, and
Yeah. Just
it
like this
takes somebody
podcast, two
knowing.
years from now,
Yeah,
when Kings Can Move On is a syndicated, one of the number one podcast slash TV show. I just want to be one of the first ones that told you, man, hey, listen, you can't look, they can't beat you if you don't quit.
There you go.
speak that,
There you
They
go.
can't beat you if you
manifest
don't
that,
quit.
speak that to
Look,
existence, my brother. Speak that to existence.
they
Say that.
can't beat you. Listen, this position that I got now, I had interviewed for 4 times.
Yeah,
4 times, seen people that I felt wasn't more qualified than me, but hey, that wasn't my call.
Yeah.
But it didn't discourage me. That fifth time, you got it. You
No,
know, so
you gotta keep knocking that door, man. You gotta keep knocking on it. At
Yeah.
some point, they're gonna say, "What? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on in, bro. We waiting on you.
Come on in.
Yeah, come on. We got a seat for you. Come on in." But
the power of being positive, man.
and
It's
persistent.
funny. I don't know if y'all. I just finished this book, The Secret. I don't know if any of y'all read that.
Yes, sir.
It's an interesting book, man.
Yeah.
It really is. Now the book I'm on is the power of bad.
The
Or
power
what
of
is it?
bad.
You ever
What
look
is
at
it?
that one?
It's yeah. That was a yes.
Yeah,
That's
Definitely
good.
Think and Grow Rich.
Mm-hmm.
That
yeah.
looked like that was the one by Napoleon Hill. That's
Yeah,
the
this is
brother.
the original. This is the original.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But they do have one that's where it says from a black perspective. So I've seen that.
What's the name
Yeah.
of that book? It says yes, the power of bad, and it's just like it was something interesting. It said you would take a bad experience and let it affect you more than four positive experiences. And
Mm.
I say that to say, like you said earlier, you might get one body say, "Oh, well, what's this King's Command? What is this?" And you might focus in on that, but you ain't even seen the other six comments to say, "Hey, y'all doing your thing, keep doing it." You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it's saying like we focus on the negative stuff too much,
We do.
and we ain't even knowing it's the good is outweighing it. But that's how the world is. You know, it's not
Negativity,
news. You don't turn on the news at night. You turn on bad news.
That's right.
negativity,
You know what I'm
and
saying? You get on
bad,
Facebook, you looking at
bad
drama.
news.
Reality TV shows is drama. You know, everything they selling you is drama because that's what sells.
Right.
Mhm.
And
That's what they programmed us to think
exactly.
sells. If that program, if that paradigm goes back to a different shift, then you'll turn off that news. I haven't watched news since 2013, man.
Listen, I don't even know what coming to Houston. I don't even know what channel will come on. Only thing I asked Jay, if we get bad weather, just let me know because I ain't watching nothing. I don't know if a hurricane coming or nothing. I look up, it's sunny. We going outside.
We
I don't
outside,
look at
cuz.
nothing.
We
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear
outside.
no bad news.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and even
But
I be having
listen,
to catch
cuz.
myself when I'm on YouTube.
Huh?
I said, even I got to catch myself on YouTube, fall into the clickbait, such and
Right.
such said something about
Oh,
something and such, and
it's
this
everywhere.
rapper, this rapper. And I just be like, man,
No, it's
you
everywhere.
40 years old. What you looking at that? You know what I'm saying? But
Yep.
that's what they pushing.
It's
That's what they
everywhere.
pushing.
It's
So
everywhere.
sometimes you got to reset. Sometimes I take a break from social media just to get that balance because it is very distractive. It's very
Absolutely.
distractive.
Yeah.
And it just take willpower. It ain't nothing you can just be like, oh, I'm gonna jump off. It's really like, damn, what did I miss while I was gone? So I
Hmm.
think a lot will come out in later years about social media and about the mental effect that it had on people. I think it'll probably definitely be more restricted going on. Because one thing, the jobs, they feel like they ain't getting no production.
Mhm.
Hmm.
That's why they got all these trackings. Hey, you've been on your phone 8 hours today. Well, shit, you worked 8 hours today too. So somebody got cheated.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. Well,
Mm.
listen, bro. It's been a great conversation. I know you
Always.
wanted to get into some other stuff, like
Part two, man.
these
Part
women
two.
and dates
Yes.
and all that stuff. But we can recircle back another time and do
Yeah.
all that.
Trust me,
Yeah,
we
we'll
got
have to do a
time.
part two real
We gotta
soon,
do a
man. Real soon.
panel on that
Yeah,
one.
because I mean that's definitely so. Matter of fact, that's what I was gonna say. We do need to do a little panel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's where we can get all perspectives. Because
We do
I'm
a
definitely
panel
curious.
with women and men.
The
Yeah.
women, exactly.
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
to hear from the women and men. Because right now, we had a Mexican standout, black women. I don't know what's going on. Y'all gonna have to come on home. Come on back home, baby. I don't know what they telling y'all. Come on back home. No, we miss you.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, we gonna get that panel together. Hopefully within the next month, man. We
Hey,
need that.
I'm down and I'm ready.
We
we
can we
got
can
some.
air out all of our differences.
Look,
Absolutely.
we got something in the works. We got something in the work. We got something in the works right now with another podcast. We're gonna do something, and hopefully we can reciprocate that and get a panel on ours and we're gonna definitely do something like that pretty soon. But hey, cuz, I love you and appreciate you coming on. Uh,
Hey,
you know,
I'm here for you.
yeah, and
Appreciate it,
show
Melly
out,
Mel.
man. You
We all
got
we got.
That's
we always
right.
got, man. We got to support each other.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Reno, you got some last words.
Hey man, I just wanted to tell everybody, hey, thanks, dog, for coming on in, joining us today. Um, One thing that Melly said that he moved from KC to Houston and he saw all the possibilities. Now a lot of people will take the opposite and move from Houston to KC and see a lot of possibilities. So you always have to look at where can you grow? Where can you grow? Because if you in a certain situation and it's a bad situation and it doesn't look like it's going to get promising in that situation, you're going to have to grow and get out of that situation, go somewhere else and prosper. And that's all we want to do. I want to see all everybody that's been on this podcast. I want to see them prosper, and hopefully they want to see me prosper too. And that's where that love and that energy comes from, and that growth comes from. So hey, keep growing into growing up, and don't go down. All right,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well said, my brother. With that, Big Frank, Big Eddie from
little
K
J.
J, we out. Kings can move
All
on,
right,
y'all.
peace out.
If you enjoyed that episode, don't forget to subscribe and like us on our YouTube channel and rate and follow us on your favorite podcast platform.